Good evening, Central Indiana. Tonight we're going to bring you a new show, Shelf Care with Logan. But first, as always, let me go over my sponsors. We are live at JTH Construction Studio. Please like and share. Hello, Kathy. Oh, I can't. I'm not supposed to be doing that. Hello, Dakota. You're supposed to be doing that. JTH Construction Studio. Get a hold of Joe for all your construction needs. 765-913-8599. American Basement Solutions, Mr. Larry Ralph, 1-877-409-2837. Fathom Real Estate with Teresa Messmer, 765-341-8911. Wellspring, 765-342-6661. Stids Comfort System, 765-346-0195. Trapper Tim's Nuisance Wildlife Removal and Pest Control, 765-913-7553. Logan's Cosmos, 765-318-3388. Wayman's Furniture Appliance and Mattress, 765-342-4339. Hello, Teresa from Vegas. The Yard Barber, Andrew Payton, 765-318-4108. Livewire with Tommy Walls, 765-792-4012. And last but not least, Hometown Nutrition Martinsville, 765-315-0738. And now, hello, Seth. I will be quiet and turn it over. Shelf Care with Logan starts now. You're on.
Where am I at?
You're on. It's delayed.
It's not. It's delayed on the phone too. Then.
No dead air.
Well, I don't know what to say first. Hi, I'm Logan.
Needs a bar when you have a book club. There you go.
That's true.
All right, so the new show, Shelf Care, Logan.
Yes.
I'll talk you through this first episode. What got you excited about doing something like this?
So, I'm literally on the microphone. When I was younger, we got blocked.
No, we're fine. Keep going.
Why is it doing that?
Yeah, just keep going. Keep going with it.
Okay, when I was younger, I used to read all the time. And then as I got older and got phones and TikTok, I quit reading. And last year, I felt like I was spending a lot of time on my phone and just like not really doing anything productive. So I decided to start reading again at the beginning of this year. And initially my goal was 40 books total for the whole year. But now I'm almost halfway to that, and it's only March. So I've changed it to 8 books a month because that's currently what I've done for January and February. And now I'm at 16 books total.
Good job.
So far. I'm reading number 17 right now, and I'm halfway through it.
Is there a certain era or genre of books that you like to read the most?
Yes, I like romance. If there's not romance, just a little boring. I like romance and fantasy. I have a lot of books here that have like dragons and fairies and magic. And then I'm trying to get more into psychological thrillers. That's literally what I just said.
He's just quoting you.
Oh. So that's, yeah. But I'm trying to get more into thrillers, and I want to read horror books. But I don't know any good ones. Please no one say Stephen King. I don't have it in me to read his books. But I would like recommendations for horror books.
Other than Stephen King. But you read books a lot when you were younger. All you girls did.
Yeah, we did. I was half yawning.
No short answers?
I already said that. I did. I read a lot. In middle school, I read way more back then than I'm still reading now. There was one time in 8th grade, I read a whole trilogy in a singular day. I don't do that anymore. I have a job now, though, so I don't have time for that.
So, I mean, but the name of the show is Shelf Care. And reading your books helps you mentally also, doesn't it?
It's fun. Hockey romance. Ask her if she's read this one. Icebreaker.
So we might have a problem. That's fantastic. Lots of AR points.
I did. I always had a lot of AR points in elementary school. I read so much. What was that? Magic Treehouse? The Magic Treehouse books and Junie B. Jones.
Hello, Valerie.
I can't see when people are coming up.
On your phone, Valerie from Florida is on. She has a following of about 70,000 people. So
It doesn't show me.
you don't see that.
No, I just swiped off on accident. Oopsies.
Jeff Jesse's on. Londa's on. Hi, Val. Camilla's on. Jack Light, Teresa, Seth, Dakota, Kathy.
I accidentally got off.
Well, get back on it.
I'm trying.
You're learning.
There we go.
Huh?
Your phone's distracting you too much.
No,
No, it's not.
she needs to focus on the phone. She's learning stage tonight, her first show. She'll figure it out. I'm trying to teach her the fine arts of podcasts, and the dog's going crazy. But she has read that. She wants to know if you have any Sarah J. Maas books.
I haven't, but the ACOTAR series is what I'm planning on reading next. The only reason I haven't yet is because it's a big one. You read ACOTAR, which is like 5 books, I think, and then you have to read Throne of Glass, then you have to read Crescent City. It's like 17 books total to
So
read
pick a month
to
and
read these ladies'
read 'em
books.
all.
Yeah, but I don't know. Sometimes I need little filler books.
Well, you don't have to read it all
Like
in one
these,
night.
like these little ones. These are to clear my mind.
What was the name of that one?
Well, I'm gonna go through these.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go through one.
Do you
But
want to go through some of the books you've read?
sure. We can start with the big one.
Well, wait, before we get there, what was your goal? What is your goal of this? You wanted to kind of do a book club thing, but we took it to the next level and did a podcast.
I just want to talk about books. I have a couple friends. I got Zoe into reading again, so we talk about books. But other than that, like, I don't have anyone to like chat with about books that we all have read or give recommendations to people. I feel like the microphone's not close enough.
You're fine.
So I just thought it would be fun. And like I said, I'm trying to get into different genres. So I would like recommendations for other things. There's a great list of
Dean
fantasy futures.
Oh, I didn't even see Teresa's post. Dean Koontz, have you read any Dean
I
Koontz?
haven't, but that does sound like mystery, thrillers, horror books I would like to read.
Just no Stephen King. Why no Stephen King?
Well, like I've watched some of the movies and they're confusing. I don't want a confusing book.
You're right.
I want to figure things out. Like I just want to read it.
Go through it.
Yeah.
Now, do you read front to back, or do you jump ahead, or...
No, I don't jump ahead.
My husband said you have some hockey books. Yeah, that's shit.
Icebreaker.
She's read that.
Yeah.
It's-
Well, that's the only hockey book I have right now.
Does she? Oh boy, my wife is not. I have to behave. There are other hockey books.
Hockey romance is like a big thing right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Odd Todd is a great series. Wow, these all come pouring in. Always rig the last chapter first, Valerie.
I can't do that. I need the ending to be a surprise.
The Vancouver Agitator series by Megan Quinn. I've been recommending all week. Have you heard of that one?
I
Laura?
haven't.
Harry Potter is totally confusing. Odd Thomas.
I've read Icebreaker.
Loved it.
I loved Icebreaker too. I don't know if you've read any of her other books, but I read this one too, Wildfire. And it has this, like, the same characters in it. So, like, the love interest is still a hockey player, but they're not actively playing hockey in this one. But that one was good as well.
Seth, I'm going to buy some ice skates. So hockey dudes are in right now.
Yeah.
You would think tight ends from the Kansas City Chiefs are in right now, but evidently it's hockey players.
hockey romance books.
All right, what's pull out some of them monster books that you've read. Look at the size. I couldn't sit. I can't be patient enough to read a book.
This was the first book I read this year.
Hold it up. You can't see the name. There you go.
Oh. Lady Midnight. She has this author. She has... You should read ACOTAR. I want to read ACOTAR really badly. I think that's what I'm going to read next.
Richard Paul Evans books. Have you read any?
I have not. But she has made the, what's it called? Mortal Instruments series, which was one of my favorite series ever. And this is more fantasy. It's also YA, like young adult. So it's not like, there's not too much romance, but there's a lot of magic.
I enjoyed mystery novels. Sue Grafton and Mary Higgins Clark are amongst my favorites. I have more hockey romance books if you want them.
I do.
Recommendations.
Just type any recommendations.
Just have them message you, if she would, on Messenger. The recommendation.
This is the trilogy.
What are those? 1,000 pages
Literally
each?
a lot. It's really heavy, actually. These were the first 3 books I read this year. And I read them in 13 days, so less than 2 weeks. I read those. And it was very good. I would recommend these. Especially if you want to read like a fantasy book. I feel like these are good beginner level for that. And then after I read like a heavy series like this, I need a palate cleanser. So I read Key Ridge, which is just a little one. I read this in one day. I read this I've almost finished this whole book in a shift at the liquor store, actually.
Who's the author of that?
Alison Specka.
Okay.
She's a new author. I saw her on TikTok, actually, which is why I bought it, because it was discounted. I only paid like $8 for it. But it was cute. It's a cute romance. This one's not hockey. It's snowboarder.
So it's still Frozen. It's still something to do with Frozen.
This is a snowboarder romance. And then I read this book.
If He Had Been With Me. Who's the author? You need to give the author.
Laura Nolan.
Okay.
If anyone has read this book, we can talk about it. And we can go to therapy together. Because this book was very sad. Have you read Done and Dusted? I forget who it's by. But I'm pretty sure that was a cowboy romance that I want to read. This book, sad. Very sad book. Made me cry.
I guess. Here in Indiana, we're not holding our own. You got any corn books that you like? Corn. I said corn. Hello, Deborah.
And then my favorite book I have read this year. Fourth Wing.
Who's the author?
Rebecca Yarros.
Well, she's a Kindle fan too.
Yeah, we'll talk about my Kindle afterwards.
Hello, Levi. Rebecca Yarros.
This book, amazing. Limited edition, black sprayed edges. Holiday edition. That's my favorite book I've read this year. This is the next one, Iron Flame. There's only 2 out right now. She apparently said it's going to be a 5-book series. But we're going to have to wait.
What did you like? What was that your favorite?
This one, this is the first book I've ever read from this author. I know she has other books, but I think they're just like straight romance. Like, it's not like fantasy based. But this one, the male main character. How do you rate the spice level? It was pretty low. There were a few scenes. Actually, I rated the spice level in here.
Oh, yeah, she keeps a journal.
I rated the spice level a 2.5
out
of 5.
What's the spiciest one you ever read? The Hockey Guy?
The book I'm reading now, Hooked by Emily McIntyre, might be Icebreaker, but Icebreaker was bad. It was a good book, but definitely not for children.
You guys actually I need Ben. I know I'm with you. You guys actually rate the spice level of books. Is that normal? Yeah. Apparently, I don't. Whitney. That's good. We missed one. I love that you're talking about spicy books in front of your dad. Hey, she's 20.
I'm 22.
Yeah. Currently getting gym membership, hockey lesson, and watching 50 Shades.
I second that. I second that one, Joe.
It's classic.
Funny. So, if you are looking... Oh, wait. I was answering your question. These books have really good world building. Like, you...
100% normal. I did not know.
There's a map, actually. I love when the books have maps in them. So then it feels like we're actually there. This one has a map. Yeah. So you can see the places that they talk about. She did a really good job of describing where they were. So you should read that. And then I read Icebreaker, the hockey romance.
Who's the author of Icebreaker?
This is by Hannah Grace.
Really good.
Yeah.
Y'all need some Jesus.
Hannah Grace?
Hannah Grace. I believe I read, this author, a lot of people don't like her writing style. They feel like it's like, I don't know if the dudes on here are going to know what Wattpad is, but they feel like it's like really Wattpad-y.
What's Wattpad?
Like when you would like write like fan fiction in middle school and post it on Wattpad. That's how this book feels to some people, apparently. But she's not even from America. She's English, or she's like British, I think. She lives in England.
The Akatar series has a map in it too. The map looks like the map of the UK.
Oh, that's cool. I love when there's a map. But I thought this one was fun, and it was easy.
So let me ask you this.
It's easy to read.
Megan's on here. Hello, Megan. Let me ask you this. How do you pick the books that you like, or do you see something on TikTok, or do you review?
I see a lot of these, I saw posted on TikTok. The first ones I read this year, the Lady Midnight trilogy, was just because I really like that author. And then, actually, this next book I'm going to talk about, I read this one because I joined a book club.
What's her name? That
I don't think exists anymore because we never actually met up. But that's why I bought this one. This is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent.
Hang on 1 minute. Let's catch up. I just finished a series with Spice Level 4 or 5. I felt like I needed brown paper to carry through the airport.
That's why you get a Kindle, so then no one sees what you're reading.
If you want sad romance, read Nicholas Sparks. The Notebook is the best.
Nicholas Sparks is sad.
TikTok has all, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so, and actually, because I got this one for book club.
There you go.
Yeah.
No one can see,
I wanted to keep track of things to talk about, so I annotated it, which is what all these tabs are. So I just, highlighted and put tabs. I need to make sure that wasn't anything not appropriate.
Family show.
So I just tabbed it so I would remember things to talk about. This one was really good too. This was one of my favorite ones. I tabbed it a lot. So as you can see, there were a lot of things I wanted to talk about with it. But then the book club never met up, so I guess those thoughts will stay in my noggin.
Maybe one show you could go through that book with people that have read it and go over your notes.
I could. We could do that.
Not on your opening show, but...
And then, after that, I finally got away from the romance, and I read The Housemaid, which is a psychological thriller.
That's impressionating. I love my kiddo boss, love tabbing, and there you go.
I had that problem, too. I was trying to, remember some things from a book I read on my Kindle, and I feel like the highlighting process just takes too long. Whenever you have a physical one, you just take a highlighter out. But on Kindle, you have to hold down and then move the little thing so it covers all the words.
So what was that book you just showed?
This is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. It's a thriller. It was very good and very unexpected. I also read this one in a shift at the liquor store.
Out of all the books you've shown so far, is there anyone you can relate to, personality-wise, or that find yourself as you?
I don't ride dragons,
Okay.
or my boyfriend's not a vampire.
Have you read The Perfect Marriage? And Ben says, now I need to talk to my daughter about the book she's reading. Nobody's warned me about the spice levels. Exactly.
To be
Ben.
fair, when I was reading in middle school, I was not reading spicy books.
Are you sure about that?
I only started reading spicy books like
Junie
this year.
Junie B. Jones was not spicy.
No, like this trilogy is YA, so there's no spiciness in it. There's just like, it's kind of like fade to black. Like, it'll be hinted, but then it won't be descriptive. I'm getting all my books out of order. Okay. Next, I read Wildfire, which is also by Hannah Grace.
Hey, have you read that The Perfect Marriage, she asked?
No, I haven't, but based on the emoji, I feel like I should.
She just read book holes and asked if it's okay. She said, damn, I might still be okay. Junie B. Jones takes a trip to, this is pretty spicy. I don't remember that.
But this one's also like this guy's a hockey player too. He's actually in Icebreaker. It's kind of the same school.
Wait a minute, they carry the guy to a different book?
No, it's one of his hockey teammates. One of the team members of the hockey team.
Oh my gosh.
But you're being disruptive, Dakota. Sorry, I'm trying to get this charger plugged in. Okay. After that, I read another, like, just cute, like, fantasy young adult trilogy, and that is The Cruel Prince. This one had, honestly, this book took me a while to get through because I was bored. But then it got better because this is fantasy with a subplot of romance.
Who wrote that?
Holly Black. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. So it's not like there's not romance the whole time, which gets a little boring. But after the world building and they get through all the, like, because this one's really based on like the politics of this place they're in. So once you get through that, it gets better. That one took me a while to get through, but the second one I liked more. The main character was like a little annoying, but and then the third one was my favorite out of them. I think I read this one the quickest. I think I read this one in like 2 days. So I did that. And then after those, I read the second book to The Housemaid, called The Housemaid's Secret. It's also a thriller. It has the same main character. She's a good one. She's a baddie, if you will. There's no romance in these, but they kind of, I mean, like, she has a boyfriend in this one, but like she's busy doing other things. There's no time for romance in her life.
Can we do a weekly book reading live on PT?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'll do
one.
American Sniper if you want, but I don't know if we'd have the same audience, Ben.
And then after I read The Housemaid's Secret, I got a Kindle. So I started reading. Hold on, let me pull it up. I still don't know how to work this thing very well.
Do you like reading the book with your hand and feeling the book in your hand, or do you like reading the Kindle better?
I do like reading physical books, but my Kindle is like easier to bring with me when I go places, which I like. Okay, this was the first book I read on my Kindle, The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, which is the second book to this one.
Chris King, is that who you said wrote it?
Carissa Broadbent.
Oh.
I actually ordered this one from Barnes & Noble, and they sent me this one again. So I might have beef with Barnes & Noble, but I got a Kindle and just read it on there. I also feel like I read faster on my Kindle. My Kindle picked up that I read 100 pages an hour.
What? That's insane.
I told her last night she could read a book. She could finish a book she just started in like 3 hours.
It was 300 pages, which is
So you speed read,
100 books an hour.
but you retain it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do. I was actually telling Dakota last night about the whole plot of the book I'm currently reading.
Word for word, detail for detail.
So
You're in the
those-
ring.
all the books I just showed, plus this one on my Kindle, those are the books I've read in January and February. Which, like, next month when we do this, it'll only be the books for March that I've read. But since we just now started to do this,
Exactly, Ben. So, out of all the books you've read, you've obviously reading She's a Doll. You've been reading 8 books a month.
yes.
Who's your favorite character? And the favorite love interest, I should ask, or the favorite male counterpart too.
Yeah.
Okay, who? Tell us.
Zayden. Oh, I was about to say something, but I can't say that online. People on TikTok have a name for him.
Yeah, we don't want to hear that. Love them. More good evening, peeps. Ben, thanks for coming on, buddy. Appreciate
Thank you.
it. She'll be back in a month.
Also, Violet, which is the main character in this book, she just does something that is, like, extraordinary and never been done before. I don't know if I should say it because I don't want to, like, ruin it for anyone, but people who read, like, fantasy books will probably understand this, but a lot of times in books, the, like, female main character will be so, like, fragile and brittle, and their bones will be breaking, like, every other scene for some reason. Which that's how Violet is, which was annoying at first. Because, like, how can you get on your dragon if your knee's breaking? Like, so that was weird, but she gets better. But the male main character, Zayden.
I gotta get we gotta raise our spice. I can raise my pumpkin spice up. Is that Seth? Something I said about Actar, or whatever that is. The first book is really slow. You'll be probably 8% through it before it picks up. The second or third books are the best.
I've heard that the second book was really good. But that's how the Cruel Prince trilogy was too. The first book was just like a snooze fest. I almost didn't finish it. The only reason I pushed through was because I bought the whole trilogy.
So then you had to read it.
So I was like, I'm gonna get my money's worth. But this is my all-time favorite book out of all 16 I've read this year. My favorite male main character was him. My favorite female main character is Araya from The Serpent and the Wings of Night.
So here's what I think. Hey, Shelley. Shelley's missed a lot of the good stuff from the show. I think you should go back from January and pick the book of January, and then in February also pick and just post it. Say January's book of the month, and then at the end of the year.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because actually in my book journal,
ta-da!
I have been doing that.
Don't make excuses for it.
I made.
Stop it, Brent. Yeah, CEO of the Chicken Club's on. I'll have to pick up the Fourth Wing next and read it and let you know next month how I thought it was.
I have to cover the sticker because it's inappropriate.
Family show.
But I made a 2024 book bracket.
Oh.
And so, like, over here, this is where it starts. And so for January, I put Fourth Wing, and then February, I put The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. So I have to cover the sticker.
What are y'all putting in your journal? I need to keep track, too.
Okay. We can do a little flip through. So here, in the beginning, I just have the table of contents and my name. I'm not an artist, so please don't judge.
Hold that up there so they can see it for more than a second.
It's ugly.
No, it looks cool.
Okay. And then
What you doing?
I have all of my Taylor Swift stickers on this page. And then on this page, I have, like, my book rating system, like, how, like, out of 5 stars. And then I drew this little library to keep track of all the books I own.
So you draw the books in
Physically?
there after you read them?
Yeah.
Are you kidding
I'm a little behind, but yeah. This page I made for 5-star reviews.
Thank
so
you, Seth.
only books that I rate 5 stars get put in this. Fourth Wing is on there.
So how many 5-star books you got?
6 so far.
Read them off.
Lady Midnight, which was the very first book I read this year.
Okay.
Okay, also, before I continue, I rate the book solely on vibes. No, the writing could be awful.
Hey, she said, will you make your book list tonight and post it?
Yes, I will. The writing could be terrible. But if I had a good time reading it, it's going to get 5 stars. It's just vibes. I don't care. I don't care about rating, really.
I need a shirt that says, if I had a good time reading it, I rated 5.
It's just vibes. So I have that, The Lady Midnight, Queen of Air and Darkness.
They had magazines when I was a kid. That's all I'm saying.
This monster of a book got rated 5 stars. Queen of Air and Darkness, I rated Key Ridge 5 stars just because this was so cute. This was just such a cutie little book.
That was your palate cleanser.
This was one of my palate cleansers. And then I rated Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing got 5 stars, obviously. And then I rated, sorry, I'm messing up your stack. I rated both of these books 5 stars because if you read them, you'll understand why they're 5 stars. So those are all my 5-star reads so far this year.
That's a change from what you normally enjoy, though.
Yeah, it is. Which is why I want to try to get more into thrillers and stuff like that because I loved them.
Yes. Easy to please. Congrats, young man. There, he's probably saying he's a hockey player. No, he's not.
I wish.
Basketball.
So then I drew out, which I need to fill this in. I'm kind of behind, but this is 2024 book releases. So all the books I want to read that are like being published in 2024. I don't even own any of them. So I was going to show one, but I guess I don't have them. I'm a little behind on that. So, and then I have my
5 stars in my book.
money that I've spent on books because I wanted to keep track. We're not going to talk about that. And then this is my DNF graveyard. For those that don't know, DNF means did not finish.
Well, you got books you didn't finish?
Not yet. I finished all of them.
She almost had one once.
It was almost The Cruel Prince. That one almost ended up in the DNF graveyard.
She's extremely dedicated.
So, books. Yeah, we need to talk about how much I've spent. Books that I don't finish, if there are any, they will be written in that little section in my graveyard for the horrible books. This is empty. I haven't reread any books, but this is my rereads page. So if I reread any books that I've ever read, they will go on this page, which I was literally telling Dakota last night that I already want to reread Fourth Wing, so it might end up there, even though I just read it last month. This is my book bingo. I just put in like a book less than 200 pages or a book with a pink cover, reread a fave book, whatever. And then if I read a book, so like book with a dragon in it, that was Fourth Wing, so I marked it off.
So what happens when you get a bingo?
You just play a little... I got a bingo.
Do you win something?
No.
You get to go buy a new book?
Yeah, she's got a bingo.
And then these are little games you can play. The Alphabet Reading Challenge and Read the Country. So, like, I read a book called The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, so it went on...
She gets a new book.
On spot A. The Cruel Prince, spot C, and you just try to read every letter of the alphabet. And then same thing with this, like I mark off where the authors are from. If they're not from the States, then they don't go on here.
I thought the one was made in Kendall, Indiana, you said, but the author wasn't from...
The author is from... I forget where she's from. She's from one of the states that's colored in.
But didn't you read Fault in the Stars a long time ago?
This is for only books I'm reading this year.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
And then this is my monthly logs. I have like a little diagram here. I've read 8 books each month, so it only goes up to 8. But I keep track of total books, total pages, how many of those books I own and how many were borrowed, which I've only read.
I'm trying, Brandy. I'm trying. She's not getting any AR points for this. All I know that.
And then, this is another one. I'm trying to read 24 thriller books in 2024. So I put that. And I just have a little pixel chart of when I start and finish books.
Show the
And then
camera.
my book bracket. I have to skip that one. And then this is just my reading tracker.
Holy
All
cow.
the books I've read. It's a little messed up. And then this is where my book reviews start. I have 16 so far. But I just put the genre or the title, author, genre, the year it was published, number.
Mike, Teresa, thank you for tuning in. You could sell this CD and being a millionaire.
Number of pages, date started and finished, the format that I read it in, whether it was like a physical copy or on my Kindle, what I rated it, and one of my favorite quotes from said book. So that's the only stuff I have in my book journal. It's just fun to go back and remember.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
Brandy.
And like sometimes after you've read so many books, like I feel like you can kind of forget what it was about. But now, like I write down my favorite quotes from the book, so then I can go back and reread it and remember.
Well, already planning.
I thought about buying one because people were selling them on TikTok, just like pre-made ones that you fill out, but I just decided to make it myself. I like drawing. I'm not very good at it anymore, but it was fun. It's fun to make your own.
So your goal is between now and the next show to read another 8 books,
Yes,
and you'll have another show
it is.
around the 1st of April.
Mm-hmm.
Now, will you morph into more springy time books? Because I noticed you read a few winter books there.
Probably.
Are you going to get away from hockey players and start going after baseball players now? I'm just asking.
Actually, there's another hockey. I think he might be a hockey player, but Hannah Grace has a new book coming out this summer.
Reed's going to beat a 5-star baddie
Hannah
if she's
Grace?
similar to
No.
read that. That's good.
Being a 5-star baddie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And the whole idea behind shelf care, it gives you peace of mind and relaxes you, and no anxieties, no panicking, anything like that.
I mean, reading definitely gives me anxiety.
Should hear something.
Sometimes I'm freaking out.
Oh my god! And I'll take off my headset. It's just her freaking out about something that happened in the book.
The Graham Effect is also a hockey book. Oh, great. There's another one.
I'll have to read that. I'm currently reading, I might have already showed it, Hooked by Emily McIntyre. Why is my... Okay, there it was like my Kindle's already broken. I need to get a case for it, make it pretty.
Do you read more than one book at a time, or no?
No, I don't have the brain capacity for that.
Just so you read one all the way through before you go to your next one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I'm currently reading this Hooked.
Who is the author?
Emily McIntyre.
Hooked.
I'm only halfway through it, and we're rating it a 4.75 spice level. Only halfway through.
I truly love this. I got my
Copy
wheels
of that
spinning. I have 100 books I haven't read yet. I'm opening one tonight. That's awesome. I feel you, buddy. Sometimes I'll be half asleep in bed and I hear a big gasp, and it's her freaking out of the
Exactly.
book.
Seth gets it.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
proud of you
but
for
reading-
continuing to read.
Reading gives me anxiety.
Does it really?
Yes, but not in a bad way. Just like, what's gonna happen next? I have to keep reading to see what's gonna happen. And like, there was, in Iron Flame, there was a lot of miscommunication, and that was just making me angry, because like, just talk. And then no one would be acting the way they're acting.
So after you read about 1,000 romance novels, are you going to start writing also?
No, but I actually have a goal, because I recently found out that in order to in order to own a library, you just have to hit 1,000 books that you own. So if I can buy 1,000 books, I could call my house a library.
Do you get a tax write-off for that?
So that's my goal.
Do we get a tax write-off for that?
I don't know.
Like, now I'm in up.
But that would be just cool
I have
to
a
own
bunch
1,000
of books
books.
in there I could sell you for $1.
I'll buy them for a penny.
Yeah. Mine are all war books, though.
That's fine. I'll read them.
I don't
Black
want
Hawk
more
Downs.
books. I want books about dragons,
I wanna
dragon
read the
riders.
American Sniper that guy recommended.
Yeah,
one time. I
I've
looked
read
it up. It sounded good.
I've read it. It's very good. Chris Kyle story.
Mm-hmm.
So your first show, 41 minutes. We said 45.
Yeah.
You did very well.
So 45 to an hour. Are you
Well, I feel like once I
How's it
start
going?
talking about books, I kind of don't quit talking about books.
Yeah.
The
I
only-
love talking
the
about
only
my
thing
books.
You
that-
love talking in general.
The only thing you need to work on is I'd be more than willing to donate their self-help books. So, hey, that's part of it.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say is when you show the book, leave it there for a minute and look at your phone. Don't look up there because it's delayed. And then also always mention the author because you've read it, but somebody else may not have. And believe me, there's nothing more frustrating than trying to Google something you only got half the information on. But
That's true.
you're learning.
She said, "Do children books count? If so, I got a library."
I'm pretty sure just any book. Like, if you own 1,000 books, I don't know if, like, magazines and stuff like that count, but I saw some girl counting, she included her, like, comic books in it.
Really.
And, yeah, she had
But
over
unless you
1,000.
can't write it off as a tax write-off, then I...
It would just
What's the
be
point?
it would just be cool to be like, yeah, my house is technically a
Is the
library.
city gonna provide me funding since my house is now a library?
Like, I have a library in my house.
You
I
can-
don't own 1,000. I don't even think I own
You can
100.
turn that front room in there to a complete library.
My bookshelf, I just got a bookshelf in January and I already need a new one.
When is the best time for you to read? Is it nighttime or in the mornings? Or
Yeah, probably nighttime. Nighttime at the liquor store in between clients at the salon.
So you read at your salon too?
Yeah, I will bring, since I have the Kindle now, I'll just bring it, I literally just keep it in my purse. And if I have if I have a spare 10 minutes, I whip it out and I read for that 10 minutes.
How good are the battery life on those Kindles?
I've only charged my Kindle twice and I've had it for what, like 2 weeks now.
What's it at right now?
I fully charged it yesterday and it's at 85.
Nice.
And I read a lot yesterday.
Now, do they have a bigger version?
I think they do have a bigger Kindle. Mine is the Kindle Paperwhite.
That's what I was gonna say because I've only ever seen the two small ones.
Yeah.
But it's really nice because I was afraid it was going to hurt my eyes reading off a screen, but it doesn't glow like a phone screen.
Okay.
You can also adjust the brightness and stuff on it. So
You
when you're
can.
in bed, it's not just.
And you can turn it like to dark mode but this is, you cannot do anything else on a Kindle. Like I used to own a Nook and I could at least play games and stuff on my Nook. You can't do anything on your Kindle besides read. Like there's no home screen. Like when you open it, it puts you in your library.
Well, that's good. That's what you want. So let's recap. January's favorite book was
Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros.
February's favorite book was
What's it called? The Ashes in the Star Cursed Child?
It's on your.
Star Cursed King?
It's on your Kindle. You don't
Oh, it is on my Kindle.
Yeah.
That one. The Ashes in the Star Cursed
And who wrote that?
King. Carissa Broadbent.
And who's your favorite female character so far?
Araya from Ashes in the Star Cursed King.
And your favorite male love interest?
Zayden from Fourth Wing.
I swear to God, she said name some hockey player.
I was gonna say Pavel Bure from the Detroit Red.
I think that, yeah, the guy's name in Icebreaker was Nathan.
Ew.
All right. Now, you got any questions
Me?
to ask the audience? Anybody got any questions?
Anyone have any questions?
Comments, concerns?
Recommendations? If anyone has
Wayne
any
Gretzky.
There you go, yeah.
horror books
Yeah, recommend.
or thrillers. If you like thriller books, read Frida McFadden. She is like the queen of psychological thrillers, and she has so many. I've only read 2 of them, but they both got 5 stars. And the 3rd book in the Housemaid series is coming out this summer. Are we excited? Yeah.
So your next show will be around April 1st or 2nd,
April,
somewhere
yep.
around there.
like the first week of April. And we'll talk about our reads for March. So everyone read in March so we can chat about our books.
Now, can they message you with ideas on Messenger?
Yeah, I don't care.
And if maybe a book you're reading, they're reading, it's something you can discuss next month.
I was kind of, I don't exactly know how it would work, but I kind of wanted to do like a little book club eventually, and like maybe we could like put a poll up on Porch Time, or we could make our own group and then vote on it, and then we could all read one book together for the month, and then at least when we get on here, we all could at least talk about one book together that we've read.
Sleeping. What I was going to say is maybe bring Zoe in with you one night or something, 1 month or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to have, someone connect with books you're reading. So. Exactly. I agree, Seth. We get our therapy with Coffee with Kevin 6:30 weekday
I want
mornings.
lunch with Leroy. That's what I want.
Lunch. Leroy's at work. I think that's a great idea. There you go.
I just think it would be fun. And then if we could vote on a specific genre, then maybe we could get
There you go.
3 to 4 or 5 options in that genre, and then we can vote on the book itself.
Well, why don't you do this? Why don't you I'll make a group for you tonight, and we'll make it private and invite only into it. And it'll be called
Shelf Care.
Shelf Care with Logan's page or group. And then you can, you don't have to spoil alert for the next month's show, but you can say, hey, here's the book we're all going to, let's vote on it here. And then we'll take the names from here and invite everybody that popped on here tonight. And then they can tell people, and it'll grow over the months as we move forward.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah. And then that way we can get different genres too, because like, I know not everyone's going to want to read a hockey romance. I do, but that's just not for everyone. And I know not everyone's going to want to read about dragons.
Shelf Care with Logan.
Shelf Care with Logan. So then, yeah, we could maybe get some like horror picks in there, and we could read a horror book.
You can rate your authors.
Or just different stuff like that.
Very cool. 48 minutes. Good job, Logan.
Slay.
My wife would love that. She'd probably driving. It would be cool if that private group could meet every once in a while in person. There you go.
I would love to meet in person. I joined a book club in Bloomington. What? Oh. I joined a book club in Bloomington, but the day that we had chosen to meet came and went. And we never, like, the host never gave us a time or a place to meet.
You guys could meet here at the show and have a live studio audience in studio.
Yeah, that would be fun. And we could, like, maybe drink wine. And talk about hockey romance.
Now tell them what your name, your movie, or we were going over names of our show, and what did you say?
He texted and asked me what I wanted to call the group, and I said,
the show.
What did I say?
Logan's Book Club, because you can't say Wine Club.
Yeah, Book Club. Book Club because you can't call it wine. Book Club because we can't call it Wine Club. And I said only hot girls read books.
Only girls that are getting hot read books. That's what it should be.
And then I said drink ... I mean read with Logan.
All right. You got to come up with a close it out now, just like you do an opening. You stumbled through your opening. We got to work on that.
Why can't we just jump into it and then be done?
But you got to say, hey, I'm Logan. Thank you for coming to Shelf Care, where we work on our mental health by reading books.
Reading books. Reading romance books with spice levels.
And it broadens your horizons and all the way around. Good stuff. Any questions from the audience? Any comments before we end tonight's show? The first episode's over, Logan.
I know, we almost made it an hour.
50 minutes. That's not bad. Not bad at all.
It probably won't I mean, maybe, but I won't have as many books unless for some reason I read 16 books in March.
8 books is your goal.
Is my goal, but I'm not just gonna, if I read 8 books by March 17th, I'm just not gonna not read for the rest of the month. I'm gonna find something else to read.
Lots of hockey players out there. All right, tell them.
Thank you for joining. Shelf Care with Logan out.
Love you guys. Love you guys. I'll be back on tomorrow evening. I think Packaway Hunger's coming in with Chris Matthews. And then our next show after that will be Coffee with Kevin Monday morning, bright and early, 6:30. Tune in then. Logan will be back on air around the 1st of April. We'll start the group tonight and get you guys in there, and we'll go from there.
Yep.
Love you guys, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.